abortion and, the different arguments surrounding it, lots of controversies about it. People support it and other people do not support it and think that aborting a baby is akin to murdering a human being, while others believe that their body, it is their body, and of course it's up to them what they decide to do with their body. So this topic is on abortion, and the two teams that will be battling it down today are Team Caritas and Team Ruby. I would like to invite Team Caritas and Team Ruby on stage as we begin this. Thank you.
My name is Francis Amarachuku Grace from Team Ruby, Enugu State College of Education Technical, and I am the premise giver. I'll start by saying the topic we are debating today on says that abortion is murder and should be criminalized. Now, I'll start by saying that what you cannot make, you should not destroy. And we know that to abort means to kill or to destroy. And to kill is an express disobedience to the word of God, as it is written in the Bible. In the book of Exodus chapter 20 verse 13, it is also written in the book of Matthew chapter 5 verse 21, and the list is endless. Now, according to the data gathered by the Center for Disease Control, the rate of complications associated with abortions in teenagers is 1 to 3 per 1,000 procedures and 13 per 1,000 saline procedures. And then this is to say that abortion
I'm sorry. Sorry, that was a technical error. You have 2 minutes. I stopped you at 1. Apologies. That was a technical error.
Okay, so that is to say that abortion has contributed immensely to the rate of death among young female teenagers and even older women alike. Now, during the process of abortion, the vital reproductive organs of a woman, such as the womb and even the fallopian tubes, are being damaged, which in the near future would contribute to major complications ranging from infertility to stillbirth to ectopic pregnancy and the likes of it. And in a society like ours, abortion is morally wrong. If it was not so, these women who practice these heinous acts would not hide, or they would be proud to do it. And hospitals too possibly would print it that in this hospital we help women to abort their babies. It will be boldly be written on their banners. And again, abortion encourages promiscuity, in the sense that our young ones now bank on pills to terminate pregnancies. So with these points, I'll call upon the other debaters to give their points. Thank you.
Should my body choice be decided by the government? Absolutely no. Good day, our esteemed panel of judges, respected ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tayo Joy Yebe from Caritas University, and I am here as a premise to support the motion which states, and I quote, abortion is a woman's choice, and the government shouldn't decide what a woman does with her body. I was surprised when she said abortion has led to so many loss of life, when medical advancement has made things very easy for us. Yes, it has. And when you mention morals, moral is not the only aspect of our lives. We have so many aspects of life. How about the psychological state of this woman and even the child that will be giving birth to, if allowed? Okay, now supporting this, let's look at genetic abnormality cases such as Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, and name them, which are detected with the help of medical advancement, and of which are possible to cause severe health issues if this baby should be given birth to, with significant symptoms such as intellectual disability, developmental delays, and death shortly after birth. But come to think of it, why treat an embryo as a person? Because according to World Health Organization 2020, abortion and the Oxford Dictionary, abortion is the deliberate termination of pregnancy by removal or expulsion of an embryo. Why should we even be concerned about a group of dividing cells in the first place? And we can all attest to the fact that most of these genetic abnormalities further leads to significant physical and psychological impairment, which will definitely affect the life of this child if given birth to, and the quality of life he or she will have. And even the mother and the family at large. So tell me, why say this is the loss of? You can verify this by visiting the therapeutic daycare and boarding center here at Abapa to see how 34-year-old children are being fed and carried around. Thank you.
The pro-abortionists like them said, everybody has the right to control their fertility. Some of them even said, everybody has the right to do whatever they want to do with their body. Some even say, does abortion not help in population control? Some even go as far as saying, a fetus has no life. All these and more are the misleading arguments brought up by the pro-abortionists to buttress their point. But because it is an error for an outdoor to sit and watch the she-goat go through the pain of childbirth tied to a post, permit me to open your eyes to the evils of abortion. All protocols duly observed. My name is Wobodo Mesoma Chikujidis from the prestigious Enugu State College of Education, Technical. Human life begins at conception and it is continuous. Is it not laughable when you hear people say things like, life begins at birth, or a fetus has no life? If you understand the development process of a fetus in the womb, you will agree with me that whatever that has the ability to develop has life and must be accorded the human person status. In other words, abortion is a denial of the inherent and natural right of a fetus to life, and this amount to using a wrong to correct another wrong. If technology devices like ultrasound and the fetal heartbeat machine can be able to dictate that a fetus in the womb has life, and even at some point begin to dictate their heartbeat and their brainwave, does this not make you to understand that the fetus does not have life logic? It's not just misleading, but myopic, outdated, and meant for the shallow brains to believe. According to the 1959 Declaration of the Rights of a Child needs appropriate and legal protection before and after birth. Mind you, there is a fundamental difference between abortion and the necessary medical evacuation of a fetus done to save the life of a mother in cases of medical complications like ectopic pregnancy and other pregnancy complications. Even the World Health Organization in such cases only prioritizes the life of the mother more than that of the fetus. Using Nigeria as a case study, abortion is illegal except done to save the life of the mother. Why must we advocate in favor of a vice that has made life look so cheap and disposable, thereby devaluing the society? No matter how bad things get, Africa has always been a continent built in value. We have always believed in precept, ethics, and morality. Mind you, value is not a product of religion, so you don't think I am trying to be more Catholic than the Pope. Why must we be compelled to follow hook, line, and sinker the step of some developed countries of the world that has legalized abortion, all in the name of westernization and modernization, thereby forgetting our value? In the words of Kwame Nkrumah, the fact that I speak English does not make me an Englishman. The fact that I speak French or Portuguese does not make me a Frenchman or Portuguese. Africans, we are first and last. In a world already overwhelmed by its own decay, imagine the damage legalizing abortion will do to the African society. In spite of the laws against abortion in Nigeria, an estimated 20,000 abortions occurs in Nigeria every year. This is according to the joint research conducted by the Society of Gynecologists and Nigerian Ministry of Health. In other words, legalizing abortion will be a case of fetching ant-infested firewood, and you already know the repercussion. May I also bring it to your notice that 80% of countries, including the developed countries like UK, US, Italy, Japan, that has legalized abortion, still does not have an absolute legalization of abortion. Some of these countries still have little restrictive laws that curtails the excesses of abortion because they still take cognizance of the evils of abortion. With the judges there is a list compiled by the Gatmakar Institute, the World Health Organization, and the Center for Reproductive Rights, and it shows countries and their laws on abortion. In that list, so in some country, abortion is prohibited without reservation. In that same list, in some country, abortion is only done to save the life of the mother, just like in Nigeria. In some other countries, abortion is done to preserve health. And in some other countries, abortion is done on economic and social ground. Why in so many developed countries, abortion is available on request, but with a valid development limit. This simply means that if the pregnancy exceeds the stipulated week or the stipulated week that has been kept by the law, it automatically becomes illegal to go through the process of abortion. This simply means that even in the developed world, there is still no absolute legalization of abortion. We still don't even seem to talk about the implications of abortion so much well. The implications of abortion ranges from pain to bleeding and to more complicated issues like sepsis, pelvic infection, injuries from instruments, and death. According to the Gatmakar Institute, 40% of women that engage in abortion ends up with complications. And some of them even end up with more severe complications that requires urgent medical attention to take care of. If not that we live in a generation that has misplaced the priority, should we not be emphasizing the importance of utilizing contraceptive? And also, thank you.
Standing on the existing protocol, I am Atabong Shanawase, a student of Caritas University, Amojinike, Enugu, and I'm here to support the motion which states abortion is a woman's right and the government shouldn't decide what the woman does with her body. With the following points. Section 35 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 states that every individual has the right to personal liberty, and this liberty should not be denied. Liberty simply means freedom, and we can all agree that having a child is a personal responsibility. So why then is abortion not legalized in our country? The Child Act Law of 2003 states that a child is a person below the age of 18, and 18 is the age for all legal tender in the country. And according to essential biology, the terminology child is not used until after the birth of the fetus. So then this law does not apply to the fetus. So why then is abortion not legalized? The Penal Code Law of the Northern States, Chapter 345, Section 232 states that every individual who causes a woman to voluntarily miscarry, except in the case of saving her life, shall be punished. The fact this law has an exception should clearly tell us abortion in its entity should not be a crime. Furthermore, rape and stigmatization. In the year 2014, the notorious group Boko Haram adopted close to 270 girls in Chibok. In 2018, this same group adopted more girls from government technical school in Yobe State. However, due to government interventions and military rescue teams, most of these girls were able to get their freedom from the Sambisa forest. But when they came back, they were raped, brutalized, abused, and unfortunately pregnant. And mind you, the age range was between 11 to 19. Imagine an 11-year-old child, after experiencing all this trauma, comes back alive and is pregnant. You guys expect this child to keep the pregnancy? No, that is not right. We can all agree we have mothers and fathers now missed here today. Raising a child and bearing a child is no joke. So how do you expect an 11-year-old child to raise a child? That is a child raising a child. So I strongly agree. The right to abortion should be left to the choice of the woman who knows her body. Socio-economic factors in our society is a clear indication why the government shouldn't have a say in a woman's body. We can all agree inflation is the problem we are facing today in our country. There's a lot of inflation going on, and everybody economy is hard. So why then, to a government that cannot even take care of its people, have the right over a woman's body and a choice in having a child? Furthermore, according to statistics carried out by the federal government, by the Statistical Bureau of the Federal Government of Nigeria in 2022, it shows that close to 24 million and counting children are in active child labor in our country today. We can all testify because we see that when we go to the market, we see children hawking, doing domestic work, just to name a few. And you expect people to bring more children into an economy that is not favorable for children. These children are suffering, trying to make ends meet to reduce the financial burden of their parents. Parents who can barely afford 3 square meals. Parents who can barely afford education. Talk more of basic amenities. And you guys expect more children should be born in a society. The choice of abortion should be left to the woman who knows her financial state and the state of her spouse, whether they are able to bring this child in this economy and raise the child. So I see no reason why the government should have a say in this. I overheard my counterpart saying that according to Exodus 20 verse 13, the Bible says, "Thou shalt not kill." But what happens in the case of both mother and child? Where the doctor tells you choose between the mother or the child, either way a life will be lost. So in the context of this debate, that is irrelevant. I hope I've been able to make you all clearly see that abortion should be left to the choice of the woman who knows her body and knows her capability, not the government. Thank you.
The fact that life begins at conception is a scientific fact that we all should be aware of by now. She said, abortion is a woman's right. My cousin just had a baby 4 months ago, a baby girl. Before she was born, she had her own body. She had an XX chromosome indicating that she's a female, and she has an uterus. But she could be aborted. Then I asked this question, where are her women's rights? All protocol duly observed. I am by name Aneke Joyce Chiamaka from Enugu State College of Education Technical. The law, which is there, the primary aim of the law is to safeguard and uphold rights. But in a situation where two individual rights are at odds with each other, we expect the law to uphold that which is more fundamental. Abortion was legally restricted in every country by the end of the 19th century because of 3 reasons. 1, abortion was dangerous and abortionists were killing women. 2, abortion was considered as a form of sin and it was a form of transgression, so the law was there to serve as a deterrent. 3, abortion was restricted because the life of the preborns are at stake. It might be argued that preborns are not human, but with both the similarities and uniqueness conducted by the embryological and developmental science, it proves that preborns are human. They are wholly individuals, wholly living individuals of our own species, the Homo sapiens, but they are in different phases of their life. If preborns are in their different stage of their life, wouldn't that mean that they are also significant to that of a child who differ from an adult? With that, they have the right to life. They have the right to their own living. They have the right to live as much as they want, not just because it is unwanted by their mother, not just because it is their mother feels that they are when it is convenient for them to give birth. Yes, pregnancy might be a bit uncomfortable, but death, that is abortion, it is death, and death is forever. Abortion should abortion should be criminalized in every form in our country, not just in our country, but all over the world. Abortion is one of the most significant vices in our time. We should take action for the more lives taken, about 63 million lives taken. If we legalize abortion, what will our children legislate? If we kill our babies, will our children live theirs? It's already happening. We should take the bull by the horn and say no to abortion because it is dangerous. We should take the bull by the horn and say no because enough is enough. We should accept a human because it's a human, not just when it is wanted or convenient. Finally, if you were to be aborted, will you be here as my audience? Will you be here as my judge or as my co-debater? Thank you.
Standing on the existing protocol, My name is Confidence Ijeoma. I'm here to support the motion that abortion is a woman's right and the government shouldn't choose what a woman does with her body. Government in its entity is a public entity. And as an individual, you are an individual entity. As an individual, you are entitled to rights, which my opponent here concur and accepted the fact that we are entitled to rights. The question here is, looking at this right, is it being backed by law? Legally, you said it is illegal. The question now is, why not make it legal so that it can be safe? When you make it legal, these women have the means and the rights to be able to carry out this process without loss of life. If I must say, stating this case of Zainab, a university student who was 22 years, raped by her own friend, due to the stigma associated with abortion, carried out this abortion. Yes, she died at the end, but the question here was, it was not safe. If you look at something from one angle, it is being unfair. Look at the other angle. If I must say, medicine has gone a long way. That is why we call medicine, medical what? Advancement, technology in the field of medicine. Making this process easy and better. Making it more better, as you have also attested to the fact that this same medicine can also check the genetical whatever about the fetus. This same process can also check if that fetus is also healthy, and as well the health status of the mother. Why reproduce when you can't cater for these children? In a country like Nigeria, if I should ask, if you were to be a fetus, only to be given birth, to become an Amajiri, a beggar, will you be happy? The question now lies, what is the function of the government for these women? Legalize it and make this thing easier for them to be able to go to hospitals and carry this abortion based on their own decision. That is why I'm here to support the motion that abortion is a woman's right, because she alone can determine what is best for her, financially, economically, and as well when it comes to her health. Even if you confront a doctor, you need to tell the doctor how you feel. The doctor can never be able to determine how you feel. So the question here is it the government's position to make decisions for these women? No. And if I must continue to say this, please look at this from this angle. If you were to be a human, will you like someone to make decisions for you? Thank you. I hope with these few points of mine, you are confused. Thank you.
With the silence in this hall, I can tell that some of you are thinking deeply. Interesting. No. I heard a loud no from there. So let me just refresh your memories. The stances today were on this topic. Abortion is murder and rightfully so should remain criminalized. And that was the stance of Team Ruby to my right. Abortion is a woman's right and the government should decide what a woman does with her body. That was the stand of Team Caritas to my left. Now it's time for the second round of the debate, the responses and rebuttals. Because Team Caritas was the last to speak, I'm sure that Team Ruby has fostered a lot of questions, and I saw them, joining heads and knocking heads, conniving on how best to tackle Team Caritas with their arguments. So please, you have 1 minute to state your rebuttal to the arguments posed by Team Caritas. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to raise some points which the opposing team said. First, they talked about embryo and the fetus. And I want to ask, now, how does the embryo get in to where it is fertilized? Or how does the embryo get in? It gets in as of a result of an intentional act, which is sex. And what is the product of sex? Child. So it is like a breach of contract. You are inviting a child and you're also preventing the same child that you are actually inviting. Now, I would also like to talk about the expression which they said every human being has the right of expression. Then I want to ask the question, if a woman decides when to terminate a child, That means if she delivers the child, she still has the right to kill the child because the child came through her, right? So with all these, I think that that we saying that fetus, embryo, and all these things should be decided by just the woman. I think it is apocryphal because even the fetus has a right to live because you invited it. Thank you.
And secondly, I have another question for Team Caritas. One of the speakers made mention of...
Unfortunately, your time is up. I think you had 10 seconds to pass the mic. All right, Team Caritas, your response.
Okay, you made a statement that the rate of complications, death is caused by abortion, and that is why God will bless you. Because if it is legalized, the government will provide hospitals with well-equipped facilities that whosoever that goes into the abortion room comes out safe. You said something of the pregnancy might be stressful. My darling, it is stressful, and it's not everybody that can be able to pass through the stress. You made a statement here saying, what if that it's an intentional act where the sperm enters? What about rape? When your sister is raped, will you ask her to keep the baby? And when the baby comes into the life, who will you tell the baby that is the father? This tend to pass. See, when abortion is done, there are three people who benefit: the mother, the child, the society. A situation whereby you force a woman to keep a baby, it is a problem. Being a mother is not by opening your leg and giving birth. No. Who will grow that child? Who will teach the child? We want a good society. We want a good country. Now, a situation you force a woman to do what she doesn't want to do, she gives birth to Boko Harams, armed robbers, everything, and then the society becomes a problem. They join into cultism and all of that. So please, we are all on decks to say that abortion is and should be legalized. God bless you.
And that brings us to the very end of the second round. Now we